In the repair shop today, Lucia poaches an ancient painting method.
What are you going to do with eggs?
From Michelangelo himself.
It's an old painting technique. This is what artists used before oil paint was invented.
While Steve and Will tackle a secret cocktail compartment that leaves them shaken and stirred.
Oh, so that needs to be twisted round? Yeah. And you can't just do that by hand now?
Yeah.
But first to arrive today, Beth and Martin Cross from Hereford. They're here on behalf of a dear friend, bearing an item with an extraordinary war story attached to it, for the attention of restorer Roger Thomas.
Hello.
Hello.
You are?
Beth.
All right, Beth. I'm
Martin.
Jay. All right, Martin.
Hello, Andrew.
What have we got in the box then?
Ooh. We have a very old concertina. It's in a very battered case, I'm afraid.
We've got leather pieces there.
Yeah.
Oh.
And another leather piece there. This has been on quite some journey.
OK. So tell us about this.
Well, this belongs to a very dear friend of ours, Audrey, who's 97.
Oh, wow.
And it belonged to her grandfather.
OK.
And he took it out with him to the First World War, to the trenches in France. He and his son joined up together
Yeah.
on the first day of when war broke out.
Audrey's father, Clifford, and her grandfather, Hubert Bailey, were munitions drivers throughout the war. But they were also known for their musical skills, Clifford on the cornet and Hubert on his concertina.
It travelled all through France and they played it in the trenches for the soldiers. He played when soldiers were dying. He was asked to play in the hospitals and things, yeah. The French soldiers was marching past in what grandfather and father referred to as the March of Death out to the front. And they jumped out of their lorry and got out their instruments and played the Marseillaise for the French soldiers who were marching.
Yeah.
And they all stopped and stood to attention while it was played and then saluted and off they went on their march. Yeah. If only it could talk.
Yeah. So, Beth, do you know exactly what's wrong with this then and what we need to do?
It's obviously been through the wars, you can literally. But I don't know whether all these notes work or whether some have been damaged or whether in fact the bellows are actually airtight or you can see where it's sort of had patches put on. And
It's still beautiful though, isn't it?
It's absolutely beautiful.
This is all leather work, isn't it?
Yes, and it's...
This is paper, isn't it?
This is paper.
Is it paper?
Yeah, this is the pattern.
Right.
It's 38 keys. It's an Anglo concertina, so that means you get a different note on push and pull. It might have been made about 1880, 1890, that sort of time, yeah.
Oh, gosh. What would this mean to Audrey if we're able to restore it?
She'd just be thrilled, and it's part of her life that means so much to her because it's not only her grandfather, but it brings back memories of her father as well.
Right.
She'd just be overwhelmed, I think, really, if she could hear it played.
I'd love to hear it played.
Yeah, for sure.
I
Absolutely.
would love to
Yes.
hear it played.
Yes.
I'd love to see Audrey hear it played.
So thank you guys for bringing this in. I can't thank you enough. And please do bring Audrey in when you come back next time.
We will.
Thanks a lot.
We're very excited.
Bye-bye.
When Audrey first showed me the concertina, I was just blown away by the history behind it. If it was possible at all for it to be played, I'm sure that would just be such an amazing emotional thing for Audrey. It'll bring back those memories of her grandfather. It's very special.
This masterpiece was made by celebrated concertina maker Charles Jeffries, whose instruments are regarded as some of the best ever made. But this example, with its leaky bellows and battered leatherwork, is in dire need of attention.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the ends off and inspect the button mechanism underneath. You never know what you're going to find inside with these. This will be an interesting moment. Some of these buttons may go. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, look at it. This obviously needs a good clean. And these buttons need refurbishing with new bushing, and I need to replace all these pads. As you can see, it's pretty dirty in here. Now, here's the air button, and this is interesting because somebody's made some kind of repair on this back in the midst of time. It looks like it's got some kind of knicker elastic or something. So that's the first piece of work I'm going to do.
While Roger begins work on the venerable concertina, 2 more visitors are seeking help with their aged heirloom. Carol Bruff and her husband Graham.
You must be Carol.
I am.
All right, I'm Jake.
Hi,
Jay.
I'm Graham.
So oh, this is nice. Lucia, if you don't mind.
Fine art restorer Lucia Scalisi has over 30 years' experience with artworks big and small.
It's a jigsaw. Yeah?
It is, yes, yes. It was my father's. It was in an old suitcase in our loft.
It wasn't until recently that we started to have a big clear out, and that's when we discovered the jigsaw.
Yeah. But this was all in pieces. It wasn't in a box, so we took ages doing it.
Right.
Yes, there was no picture to go from.
But you had no reference?
No
nothing.
reference, nothing
It
at all.
was quite difficult.
How long did it take you to do that?
About, weeks, because it's not interlocking, and you only had to breathe on it, and it just fell apart.
Oh, look at that. I know what the picture is.
Yeah, HMS Pinafore.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
HMS Pinafore. This is the opera, isn't it?
Gilbert and
Yes.
Sullivan. My
Yes.
father loved
Sullivan.
it, you see, so we played opera at home. He took me to the opera when I was a kid up in London.
Oh, right.
And I loved it. That was my childhood and a very happy one.
It's absolutely good. I mean, these figures look very sort of 1920s.
They do,
You see the style of the faces and the modelling. Even though their fashions are HMS Pinafore, you can tell by the way that they look that they're 1920s style. It's amazing. I mean, despite these losses, it's in pretty good condition.
Well,
really.
yes, but it's Parker Brothers.
OK.
We did the research on it, and Parker Brothers are an American outfit. When they started doing jigsaws, they employed seamstresses because they could use a treadle machine.
Right.
And they were given carte blanche, basically, to cut out random. And they actually cut out little...
Animals.
Animals.
Yes,
and
exactly.
different things.
Well done, you've seen
I
them.
know.
There's a cat here somewhere.
Oh, yeah, with his little tail.
Yes.
The tail,
Yeah,
yes.
Can you see it, Jay? That's really cute, yeah.
And I do like it, because now I'm not only looking at the picture, I'm looking at all of the shapes. And there I see a little Scottish Terrier. Look at that. With his tail
You're
up.
right. My goodness. Once you start looking, it's like...
There's loads in there. What would you like us to do to this?
To make it look complete. And it is now, obviously, an heirloom which can be handed down.
Yeah, we'll do you proud, and we'll do your
Thank
dad
you.
proud on this one.
Yes,
but thank
thank
you for
you.
bringing it in.
That's
Okay?
right.
Right.
Lovely to meet you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Putting Dad's jigsaw together was a very moving time for us.
For us to have it in its full form without any blemishes, it'll be lovely. It'll be something that we can treasure.
It's quite unusual. It's sort of multimedia in that it's 3-ply wood with paper on top. There are quite a few pieces missing. I've counted 13, plus a couple that are actually, the pieces are there, but the paper design on the top has disappeared. Really, the first thing that needs to be done is for me to talk to Will, because he's going to have to cut out some jigsaw pieces. My job will be to put a surface, a painted surface on the top. So I'll take this over to Will now and let him have a look at what he's got to do.
Furniture restorer Will Kirk has a way with wood, and Lucia's hoping he might extend his repertoire to vintage jigsaw puzzles.
Hey, my gosh.
Yeah, it's on 3-ply, and as you can see, there are quite a few pieces missing. And I was wondering if that's something that you could help me with. What do you think?
Gosh, how many are you missing?
About 13 pieces.
Gosh. Is that painted or is that paper?
It's paper, and I think what I'm going to do is not put paper on the new pieces. I'm actually going to paint them.
Really?
Just because the paper's very old and matching it would be problematic.
So all you'd like me to do is replace those missing pieces?
Well, it's a big all.
I'm sure I can help. I've got some 3-ply around there somewhere.
Thank you. Can I leave it with you?
Yep, leave it with me.
Thanks a lot.
Lucia successfully press-ganged Will into helping on the HMS Pinafore project, but Roger is still flying solo. He has dismantled the main body of the 130-year-old Concertina.
This really is a very sad-looking mechanism that needs repairing.
And can now turn his attention to the keys.
This is the air button lever. I just want to gently remove this. This tool is something I've made myself. It's for manipulating springs. It's just a screwdriver with the end shaped, so I can hook that onto when I'm removing these little springs, unhooking springs. So I just have to be careful how I do that.
The most important task Roger faces is making the Concertina airtight.
These are the new leather pads. There's a layer of felt and card. Now, the thing here is I've got to get these little pads in exactly the right spot. This is glued on like this. That's how they're held on. I find musical instruments of any sort inherently beautiful. I just love them. And it's a passion, really. It appeals directly to the emotion. I find it very difficult to walk past an accordion or any stringed instrument without picking it up, looking at it.
While Roger lovingly reconstructs and secures every valve and gasket, he's asked master saddler Steve Fletcher to overhaul the damaged leather case.
I love this case. I love the shape of it. The overall condition, considering its age and what it's been through, is remarkable. The good news is we have all of the pieces. So I'm going to repair behind to hold the 3 sections together and then sew them back onto the lid.
Susie reinforces the damaged panels of the lid with new leather before gluing and stitching them back into place.
I'm just following the previous holes as much as I'm able to. And instead of going straight down through the leather, you're actually going through at an angle so that you don't see any of the threads on the inside. So I'm just using the awl to open up the holes, and then I can use it to guide the needle. This is very helpful as the leather is so fragile.
Roger, meanwhile, is carrying out his own leather work. The leaky bellows need repairing.
This is kid skin. It's 0.2 of a millimetre thick. It's kind of stretchy, but it's airtight. This binding is going to do 2 things. One, it's going to seal around the edge of the bellows, but it also is going to make it look a lot tidier.
With the new binding in place, Roger checks the airflow through the soundboard of the instrument.
This is one of the reed pans from the end of the Concertina. So when air is passing in this direction through here, this reed sounds and that valve closes. When air comes in the other direction through this little reed chamber, that valve closes, this reed sounds. And I can simulate what happens inside the Concertina with my test bellow. And I can I've got a little jig here to hold the reed. And at this stage, I would pick up on those issues and fix any problems that I encounter. So visually, I can see that these valves potentially will need replacing, because it would be nice if they're laying flat.
With the valves secured and the reeds checked, Roger can finally reassemble the Concertina.
Rog,
Yes.
you all right?
Yeah, fine.
I haven't heard much noise come out of this Concertina.
I'm going to just test it now.
Cool.
So we'll see.
We've even got Susie dancing. I don't know who to clap for, Susie or you, but you've both done a great
It's all
job.
right though, isn't it?
I think Audrey's going to be totally made up when she hears this. You've done a brilliant job.
Yeah.
I'll give her a ring then. Get her to come in.
Good.
Right.
Splendid, yeah.
Good man.
Next into the workshop, an item boasting a secret party compartment any spy would be proud of.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, Jenny, I'm Jay.
Hello, Jay. Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Hi, Jenny, I'm
Hello,
Steve.
Steve. Nice to meet you.
Jenny Harvey has travelled from Essex to see if repair shop agent Steve Fletcher will accept the mission of fixing a chic antique.
So what have we got here then?
It's a cocktail table,
Okay.
and had a little accident because one of my cats landed on it, and I'll show you what happens.
Oh, wow. Whilst the cat was on this,
Yes.
it's fired up.
Yes, and
Okay.
hit the ceiling.
my word.
Claws everywhere.
This is from the cats when they were being thrown into the air, or one cat was and it was
I
scratch
think
on
probably as they landed.
So it wasn't the cat's fault for being on there, was it? Because
No,
it's
no.
not supposed to just come up.
No,
like
it's
that, is
not.
it?
You're supposed to press that. Sometimes it'll come up slowly,
Yeah.
and then other times it will go bang.
So what's the history behind it? Because how long have you had it, and where's it from?
It was given to my aunt for her 30th birthday. It used to have glasses hanging on it, and it had all the vessels and the glasses on there. It was her pride and joy. It was special. My aunt gave it to me early because she'd left it to me in her will, and she had to go into a home. And when I had to confess to her about the cats,
Okay.
she nearly fell out the chair laughing.
I think this is just fantastic.
Yeah.
And to have it coming up nice and gently instead of fast would
Yeah.
be great, because you don't want your cocktails shaking all the time, do
No,
you?
no, we want them stirred too. But, I mean, I think it's a beautiful item, and it really deserves to be preserved.
Yes,
No, it does.
absolutely.
So-
yeah, I think it's fabulous. I think it's the wonderful piece. I'd love to have it myself.
Yeah.
So, and can I just press the button?
Yes.
Oh, it does come up with a bit of a jolt, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Steve, what do you reckon? Do something
Well,
with
yeah,
that spring?
I'd never seen anything like this before. And I look forward to having a look at the mechanism.
But he does love a challenge.
It does love a challenge, yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to do something with this and restore it, get the spring working the way it should be.
That's
Is that all right?
fantastic.
All right.
Thanks. I'll leave it in your capable hands. Mixed emotions leaving my cocktail cabinet behind. I feel sad with it in its present state because it was entrusted to me by my aunt. I'm hoping that Jay and Steve will be able to restore it again, as it should be.
That is quite dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah, especially if it sometimes shoots up really
Right,
quickly.
quickly, yeah.
No wonder the cats went and hit the ceiling. But I love this to bits. I absolutely love it to bits, and I've no idea how it works.
We'll definitely get Will on this side, innit?
Yes, yeah.
The French polishing,
Yeah.
because it does look a bit tired and what have you,
Yeah.
but you've got to deal with that mechanism. It can't be shooting up when it leaves here.
Well, there you go. I've no idea, but it can't be that difficult.
No, it can't be.
This is another of those jobs that I'm really looking forward to working on, because I've no idea how it actually works, and I love working out how things work. And this one is intriguing.
Steve disassembles the table to find out how the secret compartment works.
Once I've released the spring from this part of the table, I'm hoping the whole thing's actually going to just lift off.
Inside, a cocktail cabinet on a powerful spring is held under the surface by a hooked catch.
This is the release mechanism. Just got to work out actually why it's triggering too easily. I'm just going to take the triggering mechanism off, and I'll get this on my bench and try and suss it out.
In the outdoor workshop, Will too is problem solving.
Everything is different. There's no sort of uniform shape here at all.
starting work on the missing pieces of the wooden jigsaw.
All of these pieces are so fine, it's quite tricky to sort of really get round those hoops and turns. As it's a jigsaw, everything has to fit really snug, and because the gap between each piece is so fine, you really need to sort of saw really carefully and get that nice and spot on. It's not too far off. Just needs a bit of tweaking, that's all. You really have to be quite precise with this. I actually think that some of these pieces are slightly tapered on the top. That means that if you get your measurement from the bottom and then you try to slide it in from the top, it's going to be too big. Well, I'm still on my first piece. Nearly there, but I think it's going to take a bit more tweaking. I've got lots of files and I've got a scalpel, so I can keep on making adjustments. Still tight somewhere. Where are you tight? Come on. Nearly there, just a bit more of a rub. Yes, that's the first one down, only about 12 or 13 more left to go. So that's a nice fit. I'm pleased with that. Hello.
Oh, the lovely jigsaw.
Look at that.
Wow. Oh, great. So all the pieces are cut.
All of the pieces are cut, everything's back in.
It's going to look great.
That is over to you.
Thank you very much.
With the wooden surface intact, Lucia can now repaint the picture. And to help her do so, Jay's arrived with a delivery.
Is this right, that you wanted eggs?
Yeah.
All right, what are you going to do with eggs?
Oh, it's an old painting technique. This is what artists used before oil paint was invented.
Eggs?
Yeah, eggs, egg tempera. It can be quite thick, and I need to build up the surface on some of these shapes.
Well, I am intrigued to see this. How do you make paint from an egg?
OK. So what I'm going to do is separate the yolk from the white. What I need now is one of these lovely paper towels, and I just tip the yolk out on there. Now, the oily, fatty bit of the yolk is inside the yolk sac,
right.
And I don't want the yolk sac. So I just nip the yolk sac and just pour. That's going to be the medium. And so what I need now are my pigments. But I'm going to mix up a basic colour first of all.
Yeah.
So it's going to be just one of these blues. So this is the egg.
Yeah. Now, I know if I left eggs alone, they start to smell. This won't smell, won't make the painting smell then?
No, once it's dry, that's it, it's set, and it's very tough. You have to work
And this will dry quite quickly?
Yeah. Basically, once it's dried, you can't redissolve it. It becomes very, very solid. So you just make up small quantities as and when you need it.
You really do have to work quickly then, don't you?
Yeah.
All right.
But it's good. These are small pieces, so I'm going to treat each piece as an individual mini painting.
So I'm going to let you crack on. Excuse the pun.
Thank you, my dear.
Okay.
I'll talk to you later.
When the base coat has dried, it's time for Lucia to give the rest of the jigsaw a surface clean.
I'm using something called draft clean powder, which is a powdered rubber. It's a bit like breadcrumbs. It's very soft, very gentle. It's used mostly in paper conservation for cleaning documents, and the idea is that the powdered rubber will pick up the surface grease from many years of finger marks and oil from your skin, as well as dirt and dust. It's a very delicate process, but it doesn't take an awful long time, and it's actually quite a nice thing to do.
On the opposite workbench, Roger has reassembled and polished the 130-year-old concertina.
Got a present for you, Roger.
Wow.
This is from Susie. It's nice, isn't it?
I think so. We better see if it fits, shall we?
Yes, please.
OK, let's have a go. Yeah, that's great. That works.
Oh, that's perfect. OK. Thank you. You've got to join me. Come on.
Beth and Martin have returned and brought with them a very special guest. 97-year-old Audrey the owner of the historic concertina.
The concertina was in very poor condition, and I had been wanting to have it repaired for years. Well, it holds memories of the stories my father used to tell about my grandfather and he when they were in the First World War.
We're just absolutely like cat on hot bricks waiting to see what it's like. We're so excited.
Hello, Audrey. How you doing?
Hello.
You okay?
All right, thank
That's good.
Hello, Audrey. Nice to meet you.
So how are you guys feeling?
Excited.
Excited?
I don't know.
So when was the last time you heard this being played, then?
When my father played it at home.
That's got to be over 80 years, maybe.
Oh, yeah, oh, yes, yes.
I think we should show you what we've done.
You ready?
Ready for this?
I don't know.
You don't know? OK. Well, we hope we've done you proud, your father and your grandfather.
I'm sure you have.
Look at the case! Oh my goodness!
Oh.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So do you want to open it?
Don't you dare.
Come on, I want to see it.
This is my prerogative.
Oh, my Lord.
Shall I get it out for you?
Yes, please.
You need to tip it up like this.
Oh.
So how does it look?
Wonderful.
Yeah?
I can't believe it. You've got a great talent,
Thank you very
a
much.
great gift.
Yeah.
When I was a little girl, my grandfather used to play this to me, but he didn't just play, he performed.
Did he?
He swung it up in the air and down, still playing, and just, I suppose, to amuse me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Very emotional, and I don't know how to express what I feel, really.
It's such an amazing, amazing feeling.
Don't you so? To see it being played again, I suddenly saw my grandfather playing it to me and shaking it about. It brought him very much back to me.
Mechanical maestro Steve has been struggling with the issue of the trigger-happy cocktail case. The rubber that controls its ascent no longer creates the seal required to slowly raise the compartment.
I don't know what you call this, really. I suppose it's like a piston. And I've made up this rubber ring, and basically I'm putting it here. And what that does is splay this rubber out so that it actually fits tightly into this tube, or snugly, I should say, so that when this unit comes up out of the table, it should just rise very, very slowly. Then this table should be cat-safe and shouldn't fling cats up in the air.
Steve needs to test if the seal now fits tightly enough to control the ascent of the cocktail case.
Jay,
Steve.
come, give us a hand.
All right. How we doing? Steady on.
All right.
What are you doing?
Well, this is just, I'm using this just so that I can put this right up there because my hand doesn't fit up there.
All right, cool. And that
to
is...
test this right. So this here, can you see that hook there? That is the hook that goes on this lip up here.
Okay.
In this hole. And basically, I need you to push, right, if you go around there,
all right,
right, and push it up there, and then get ready to pull it.
You know what that is? Reminds me of, I used to have a whoopee cushion. Did you have a whoopee cushion?
I thought you'd enjoy that.
I did enjoy that.
So I want you to pull down as if the spring is on it, right?
Right, I'm with you.
Right,
I'll get it. Yeah, I get that. That's
okay.
cool. That's secure.
OK.
Oh, yeah. See, and that is not coming out as fast. Absolutely. You're a clever bunny, aren't you? I like that.
But the rubber seal is only half the battle.
I've realised that I've got to make a new foam washer. This washer went here, and the button presses down on it, and the foam washer has gone brittle and powdery and isn't doing its job. So I've got some foam, and I'm going to try and make a washer, and I'm hoping that that's going to fix the problem. I've not had to make any foam washers ever. Clocks don't have foam washers in them. Right, so this washer goes here, the button goes there, and the table goes over the top there. And I push this down, and then press the button, and this should unhook it, which it has done. But that's still coming up much too fast. I was hoping that the foam would create a seal that would allow a small amount of air to come through, but it's just letting too much air through, I think. So I'm gonna have to try and find some other form of foam.
While Steve hunts for an alternative material, outside, having completed his work on the jigsaw, Will is now free to work on restoring the polished tabletop.
The top of the cocktail cabinet is really scratched. It looks like that cat has had an absolute field day with it. That to one side, the varnish itself is pretty damaged. It has cracks and crazing along the surface. I'm going to remove the varnish that's on there now with some stripper. Once that's done, have a look at the wood underneath, and if that's in really good condition, then I can get varnishing again.
Back in the barn, Steve's found a higher density neoprene foam, which will hopefully allow less air to pass through, creating a tighter seal.
Good, I'll see if this works. Fantastic. Good. Right. Another of the problems solved.
Lucia is also going strong with her assignment. With the colours revealed on the freshly cleaned puzzle, she can now begin to fill in the fine detail on the new pieces.
I'm mixing up the colours as I go, and for the blues, it's basically Prussian blue with some raw umber and a little bit of yellow ochre, and sometimes a little touch of alizarin crimson, because it goes into the purples in this middle section here. So I'm just sort of bringing little areas up, sitting back, looking for the next area that catches my eye that I need to modify a little bit more. With egg tempera, once it's dried, and I'm sure as any parent knows when their children have got egg on their clothes, it dries like concrete.
Returning to the repair shop to collect the treasure belonging to her beloved father, Carol, accompanied by her husband, Graham.
We're very much looking forward to seeing the jigsaw again and seeing what Lucia's done.
It's going to be something tangible that...
My dad played?
Yes.
Really? Yes.
Hello, hi, Carol.
Hi.
Hello, lovely to see you again. Very well. Hello,
Good,
Graham.
good,
Nice to see you.
Good.
So, are you ready to see it?
Yes.
And I'm quite excited.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Oh, dear me. Oh, great.
I hope that's a good oh dear.
Oh, yes, it is. Wonderful.
Good.
Can't even see the joins.
No, no.
There are loads of joins.
Yeah.
You're such a clever lady.
Oh, you
Yeah.
are kind.
Oh, that is wonderful.
Oh, that's absolutely cracking.
Well, Will cut out the jigsaw sections to replace them. And then I treated each section like a miniature painting because they're all different.
Yes.
It looks so different being complete.
Yes, wonderful.
Yeah.
No, it's a wonderful piece and quite unusual, and it was a challenge to work on, but a really lovely thing to work on as well.
Yes.
Good.
It's amazing, really, because this has been in our family, well, in our home, and we didn't know it was there, in our loft. And now we're getting so much joy out of it, and we're going to take it home and frame it.
We're going to get a lot out of it.
We are, yeah, the family will.
Yes.
Well, I'll wrap it up for you and you can take it away.
Thank you.
Lovely to meet you again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, she does beautiful work. Yes, it is faultless,
Faultless.
yes. I've thought about my dad a lot, and my dad would love the fact that we've gone to all the trouble of getting it mended. He'd be tickled pink.
Will and Steve have been labouring over their respective sections of the cocktail cabinet with the secret compartment. They are now working together to reunite the freshly polished top and the overhauled raising mechanism.
That's a sweet screwdriver. Where'd you get that from?
It's my grandfather's.
Your grandfather's?
Look after it.
Really? It's your
Yeah,
grandfather's?
yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Do you inherit lots of your grandfather's tools?
Yeah, quite a lot, and my dad's. And it's just lovely, you know, when I'm using a screwdriver, you know, they've held it. It's almost like holding their hand, you know.
That's really good. I like that.
Yeah.
Right, that's that screw done.
Right, let's just test it.
Yeah, test it.
This is really quite sort of...
No.
Oh, no. You see the obvious thing, can't you?
What? The fact that it's popping up on its own accord?
Well, that and the grain's the wrong way round.
Oh, so that needs to be twisted round?
Yeah.
And you can't just do that by hand now?
Yeah. And it's popping up on its own. But it's coming up beautifully slowly, isn't it?
It's coming up beautifully slowly.
Oh, blow.
A last-minute readjustment, and the cabinet remains locked safely inside.
Yeah, it's not popping up.
It's not popping up. Nice job, Steve.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good job.
Will and Steve maneuver the table into place, ready to show off their handiwork to owner Jenny.
I'm hoping that Steve has been able to repair the mechanism because it's really important to the family and it would be really nice to pass it down to the younger generation.
Hi, Jenny.
Hello, Steve.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Hi.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah. This
Hello,
is
Will. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Right, OK, this has been a bit of a challenge.
That's it.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah. Oh, wow. That is amazing. That really is amazing. The finish. And dare I?
Well,
there's only one way to find out.
Oh. It's absolutely incredible. Thank you so much, both of you. It's just beautiful. And I love that everything fits. Can I give you a hug?
Of course you can.
Thank you so much.
That's right, yeah.
Thank you. That's absolutely gorgeous.
Very welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Stunning. Everybody will be so pleased. Gonna have a party. I don't think I'll let anyone touch it, actually. Oh, it's just gorgeous.
Does this take you back to when it was with your aunt?
Yes, it does. Yeah, because one of the things when I was really young, I used to ask permission to, you know, pop the top, and if anyone wanted a glass, can I get it? So, you know, it does.
Well, it's been really enjoyable to work on, and I've learnt a lot by doing it.
Great.
And so thank you for bringing it in.
Thank you. Shall I close it?
Come on. We'll get it all wrapped up now, pop it out to the car for you.
Thank you. Thanks very
Thanks,
much. Bye-bye. The table is just incredible. Surpassed all my expectations. The finish on the polish, the mechanism, the fact they've put the glasses in. You get a flashback to all those happy memories, and it just brings up that little lump in your throat, and you know, you think of your grandmother and people who have gone, and my aunt, all enjoying a Sunday afternoon around having a drink. It's excellent, incredible job. So very, very happy.